In the heart of Tuscany, amidst rolling hills and olive groves, the small town of Vinci stirred with new life on April 15, 1452. On this day, a boy named Leonardo was born, his arrival marking the beginning of an unparalleled story of genius. He was the illegitimate son of a respected Florentine notary, Leonardo da Vinci, and a young peasant woman named Caterina. Leonardo's early years were spent not in Florence, but in the nearby hamlet of Anciano, in his father's family home. He received a basic and informal education in Latin, geometry, and mathematics, but his true classroom was the world around him. His innate curiosity was boundless, leading him to explore the streams, fossils, and wildlife of his rural surroundings. Around 1466, recognizing his son's prodigious artistic talent, Ser Piero arranged for him to be apprenticed in Florence. The bustling city of Florence, a vibrant hub of the Renaissance, became Leonardo's new home and training ground. He entered the prestigious workshop of Andrea del Verrocchio, a master painter, sculptor, and goldsmith. Under Verrocchio's tutelage, Leonardo honed his skills in drawing, painting, and the technical arts. His talent quickly became apparent, his abilities in painting soon surpassing those of his own master. A famous anecdote tells of Verrocchio's astonishment at the angel Leonardo painted in his baptism of Christ. By 1472, Leonardo had qualified as a master in the Guild of St. Luke, the city's guild of artists and doctors of medicine. He established his own workshop, though he continued to collaborate with Verrocchio on various projects. His first major independent commission was the Adoration of the Magi for the monks of San Donato a Scopito in 1481. This ambitious work, however, would remain unfinished, a recurring theme in his career. In 1482, seeking new challenges and opportunities, Leonardo moved to Milan to work for Duke Ludovico Sforza. He offered his services not just as a painter, but as a military engineer, architect, and musician. For nearly 2 decades, Milan became the stage for some of his most iconic achievements. He painted the Virgin of the Rocks, a masterpiece of sfumato and atmospheric perspective. His portrait lady with an ermine captured the grace and intelligence of Cecilia Gallerani, the Duke's mistress. Between 1495 and 1498, he created his monumental fresco, The Last Supper, in the refectory of Santa Maria delle Grazie. The work captures the dramatic moment Jesus announces that one of his apostles will betray him. His experimental technique of using tempera on dry plaster unfortunately led to the fresco's rapid decay. During his time in Milan, Leonardo filled countless notebooks with his observations and inventions. These notebooks reveal the incredible breadth of his interests, from anatomy to engineering. He designed flying machines, armored vehicles, and elaborate hydraulic systems, centuries ahead of their time. His famous drawing, The Vitruvian Man, created around 1490, perfectly blended art and science. He began his deep exploration of human anatomy, seeking to understand the mechanics of the body. The French invasion of Milan in 1499 forced Leonardo to flee the city, ending his first Milanese period. Traveled to Mantua, where he drew a portrait of the powerful Marchioness, Isabella d'Este. He then journeyed to Venice, where he was consulted on how to defend the city from naval attack. By 1500, he was back in Florence, where he was welcomed as a celebrated native son. He was given a commission for a large fresco, the Battle of Anghiari, in the Palazzo Vecchio. This work was meant to be a companion piece to Michelangelo's Battle of Cassina, sparking a rivalry. It was during this second Florentine period, starting around 1503, that he began painting the Mona Lisa. The identity of the sitter, Lisa del Giocondo, was a subject of debate for centuries. He kept the painting with him for the rest of his life, constantly refining it. His anatomical studies intensified, and he was granted permission to dissect human corpses. These dissections allowed him to create incredibly accurate and detailed anatomical drawings. He studied the muscular, skeletal, and vascular systems with unprecedented precision. In 1508, Leonardo returned to Milan, this time in the service of the French governor, Charles II d'Amboise. He focused more on his scientific work, including geology and hydrodynamics. He collaborated with the physician Marcantonio della Torre on a comprehensive treatise on anatomy. Political instability once again forced him to move, and in 1513 he traveled to Rome. He hoped for patronage from Pope Leo X, but his time in Rome was marked by frustration. He felt overshadowed by the younger, more favored artists like Raphael and Michelangelo. In 1516, he received a prestigious invitation from King Francis I of France. The king offered him the title of first painter, engineer, and architect to the king. Leonardo spent his final years at the Chateau of Clos-Lucé, near the king's residence, brought with him his most treasured paintings, including the Mona Lisa. Though he painted little in France, he worked on architectural projects and organized court festivities. He enjoyed the admiration of the king and the freedom to pursue his intellectual interests. Leonardo da Vinci died on May 2nd, 1519, at the age of 67, in the arms of his loyal assistant, Francesco Melzi. Legend holds that King Francis I was present at his death, though this is likely an embellishment. He was buried in the chapel of Saint-Hubert in the Château d'Amboise. Leonardo left his notebooks, drawings and paintings to his pupil, Francesco Melzi. His legacy is not just in his few surviving paintings, but in the thousands of pages of his scientific and artistic studies. He was the quintessential Renaissance man, a polymath whose genius knew no bounds. His insatiable curiosity drove him to question everything and to seek knowledge through direct observation. His work continues to inspire and mystify, a testament to one of the greatest minds in human history. The sfumato technique, which he perfected, involves soft, hazy transitions between colors and tones. He applied this technique to create a sense of atmospheric depth and mystery in his works. His use of chiaroscuro, the dramatic play of light and shadow, added volume and intensity to his figures. Leonardo's studies of botany were as meticulous as his studies of human anatomy. He saw analogies between the branching of plants and the branching of rivers and blood vessels. His geological observations included the study of rock formations, erosion, and the presence of marine fossils on mountains. He correctly theorized that mountains were once seabeds that had been uplifted over immense spans of time. His studies of water were obsessive. He drew countless images of vortices, currents, and deluges. He believed water was the veturale della natura, the driving force of nature. Leonardo's fascination with flight led to his detailed studies of birds and their mechanics. He designed an aerial screw, a conceptual forerunner to the modern helicopter. His architectural drawings included plans for ideal cities with multi-level streets to separate traffic. He designed a colossal equestrian statue, the Sforza horse, which was never cast in bronze. The clay model was tragically used for target practice by invading French archers. Leonardo was also a gifted musician, known for his skill on the lira da braccio. He invented the viola organista, a keyboard instrument designed to sound like a string ensemble. His writings were often in mirror script, perhaps to protect his ideas or simply due to his left-handedness. He dissected the human eye, creating detailed diagrams of its structure and function. He correctly described how the eye forms an image, comparing it to a camera obscura. His unfinished painting St. Jerome in the Wilderness is a powerful study of anatomy and emotion. Leonardo's self-portrait in red chalk, made around 1512, shows a man of great age and wisdom. He was a master of disegno, the intellectual component of art involving design and drawing. His studies of drapery are masterpieces in themselves, capturing the weight and flow of fabric. He believed that a painter should be a universal master, capable of depicting all aspects of nature. His work on Leda and the Swan is lost, but known through numerous copies by his students. He was fascinated by grotesque heads, drawing characters with exaggerated and comical features. These studies explored the full range of human physiognomy and expression. Leonardo's understanding of psychology is evident in the subtle gestures and expressions of his figures. He advised painters to observe people in public, noting their movements and interactions. His Codex on the Flight of Birds meticulously documents his research into avian aerodynamics. He designed a self-propelled cart, considered one of the earliest concepts for an automobile. His anatomical drawing of a fetus in the womb was astonishingly accurate for its time. He was one of the first to accurately depict the human spine with its correct curvature. Leonardo's work on the Sforza monument consumed him for years, a grand, unrealized dream. He explored the mathematics of perspective, creating convincing illusions of three-dimensional space. His early landscape drawing of the Arno Valley is one of the first pure landscapes in Western art. He was a vegetarian for much of his life, a choice stemming from his love for animals. His portrait of a musician is his only known finished portrait of a male subject. The unfinished head of a woman, La Scapigliata, is a captivating study of beauty and form. He designed elaborate automatons, including a mechanical lion for the King of France. His mind was a whirlwind of ideas, constantly moving from one project to the next. He left a legacy of profound questions rather than definitive answers. The world remembers him not just for what he created, but for the infinite possibilities he imagined. His early works in Florence already showed a departure from the rigid styles of his contemporaries. The Benoit Madonna showcases a playful, human interaction between mother and child. His notebooks contain practical advice on painting, from how to mix colors to how to depict a battle. He studied the way light reflects from different surfaces, a science he applied to his art. The Madonna of the Yarnwinder combines religious devotion with an everyday object. His rivalry with Michelangelo was legendary, representing a clash of two different artistic philosophies. While Leonardo was analytical and scientific, Michelangelo was passionate and divinely inspired. He conducted experiments on the strength of materials, testing wires, beams, and struts. His Codex Hammer, now the Codex Leicester, is filled with his theories on water and astronomy. He correctly identified the faint glow on the dark side of the moon as reflected earthlight. Leonardo's final painting, St. John the Baptist, points enigmatically towards the heavens. The painting's ambiguous smile and gesture have been the subject of much interpretation. He was a man who saw the world differently, noticing the interconnectedness of all things. His life was a relentless quest for knowledge, an unending journey of discovery. The genius of Leonardo da Vinci was his ability to bridge the gap between art and science. He demonstrated that a single mind could contain multitudes of talent and curiosity. His anatomical work was so advanced it would not be surpassed for over a century. He planned to publish his findings, but the monumental task was never completed. The Mona Lisa's landscape background is an imaginary creation, a composite of his geological studies. He was a true pioneer, venturing into uncharted territories of both the human body and the natural world. His influence is woven into the fabric of Western culture, from art history to modern engineering. To study Leonardo is to study the very essence of human potential and the power of curiosity.